Have you ever felt like you are working hard, making money, but somehow it just disappears by the end of the month? You are not alone. Most of us were never taught how to manage money in school. Today we are going to change that. In this video, I will give you a complete step-by-step blueprint to take control of your personal finances. But before we talk about saving or investing, we have to start at step 0. Think about how a GPS or Maps app works. If you want to go to a specific destination, the app must first know your exact current location. If it doesn't know where you are right now, it cannot give you the right directions. Your financial life works the exact same way. This brings us to chapter 1, the financial audit. To know your current financial location, you need to calculate one simple number. It is called your net worth. Simply put, your net worth is the measure of your financial health. How do we calculate it? It is a very simple formula. Net worth equals your assets minus your liabilities. Let me break that down. First, assets. An asset is anything you own that has a positive cash value. This includes the money in your wallet, your bank account balance, investments, or a property you own. Second, liabilities. A liability is simply money that you owe to someone else. This is your debt. It includes credit card debt, personal loans, or money you borrowed from a friend. So you grab a piece of paper, write down all your assets, and subtract all your liabilities. Don't panic if the final number is negative. A negative net worth is very common, especially if you are young or have student loans. The goal here is not to judge yourself. The goal is brutal honesty. You need to know your starting point so we can start building well. Now that we know where we stand, how do we handle those liabilities? This is exactly what we will discuss in chapter 2, debt annihilation. Calculated your net worth in the previous step and found out that your liabilities are much higher than your assets. Take a deep breath. Debt can feel like a heavy weight on your shoulders, but today we are going to build a system to destroy it. First, we need to understand that not all debt is the same. There is a good debt and a bad debt. Good debt is money you borrow to buy an asset that will make you more money in the future. For example, a loan to start a profitable business. Bad debt, on the other hand, is borrowing money to buy things that lose value over time. Think of high-interest credit cards, or taking a personal loan to buy the latest smartphone. This is a toxic debt we need to eliminate immediately. Grow your bad debt. You don't need magic. You just need a strategy. There are 2 very popular methods you can use. You just have to pick the one that fits your personality. Method number 1 is called the debt snowball. Here is how it works. You list all your debts from the smallest amount to the largest amount, regardless of the interest rate. Pay the minimum on all of them, but you throw every extra dollar you have to at the smallest debt until it's completely gone. Why does this work? Because of psychology. When you pay off that first small debt quickly, you get a quick win. You feel motivated. It is exactly like snowball rolling down the hill, getting bigger and faster as it destroys the rest of all of your debts one by one. Method number 2 is called the debt avalanche. This method is for the highly logical thinkers. Instead of looking at the total amount, you list all your debts. This method is for the highly logical thinkers. Instead of looking at the total amount, you list all your debts from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, because mathematically this is the one stealing the most money from you every month. Once the most expensive debt is dead, you move to the next one. Which method is better? The best method is the one you will actually stick to. If you need motivation, choose the snowball. If you love math, you choose the avalanche. Just pick one and attack your bad debt ruthlessly. What happens when an unexpected emergency hits while you are trying to pay off debt? So that is exactly why you need a sheet. And that's what we are building in chapter 3, the safety net. In the last chapter, we talked about aggressively paying off debt. But life is unpredictable. Your car might break down, you might need an urgent medical care, or you could suddenly lose your income. If you don't have safety net, just one emergency can push you right back into toxic debt. This is why you must build your safety net, universally known as an emergency fund. An emergency fund is simply a dedicated pool of cash that you save strictly for unexpected absolute necessities. Be clear, it's not a fund for a new TV, and it's certainly not for a vacation. It is your financial shock absorber. So how much money should be in this fund? The golden rule in personal finance is to save enough to cover 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. Notice I said essential expenses, not your total income. This means your rent, basic groceries, utilities, and transportation. If your essential living expenses are $1,000 a month, your emergency fund should be between $3,000 and $6,000. One strict rule about this money: it must remain liquid. In finance, liquid means you can access the money immediately in cash without penalties. Do not invest your emergency fund in the stock market, and do not tie it up in real estate. Keep it in a separate, easily accessible savings account. The primary goal of this money is not to make you rich. Its goal is to protect you from going broke. Once you have cleared your bad debt and built your safety net, you have officially achieved your financial stability. You are no longer living on the edge. But how do you manage the money coming in and going out every single month without feeling restricted? This is exactly what we will master in Chapter 4, Cash Flow and Budgeting Systems. For most people, the word budget sounds like a cage. It sounds like you are never allowed to have fun or buy a cup of coffee again. Let's change that mindset right now. A budget is not a cage, it is a map. It simply means you are telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. To control your monthly cash flow, you need a system. The easiest and the most popular system for beginners is a 50-30-20 rule. Here is how it works. You divide your after-tax income into 3 categories. 50% goes to your needs, like rent, groceries, and bills. 30% goes to your wants, like eating out, hobbies, or buying that coffee. Yes, you are allowed to enjoy your money. And final 20% goes strictly to your financial goals, like paying off debt, building that emergency fund, or investing. If you want more precision, You can use a zero-based budgeting system. This means that before the month even begins, you give every single dollar specific job. Your total income minus your total expenses must equal exactly zero. If you have 100 left over after paying all your bills and funding your hobbies, you don't just leave it sitting there. You assign it a job like an extra debt payment or an investment account. No money is left unemployed. Mastering your cash flow gives you power, but once you have extra money saved up, there is a massive danger waiting for you. If you just leave your savings sitting in a bank account for years, you are actually losing money every single day. Who's stealing it? And how do you stop them? That is what we uncover in our final section, Chapter 5, The Silent Thief and Wealth Preservation. At the end of Chapter 4, I warned you about a silent thief that steals your wealth if you just leave your money sitting in a bank account. That thief has a name: inflation. Inflation is a gradual loss of purchasing power over time. It means that the cost of living, housing, food, energy naturally goes up, making your cash worth less. Think about it. What could $100 buy you 10 years ago? A whole cart of groceries. What does it buy you today? Maybe just a few bags. Your money didn't disappear, but its power shrank. If your money is not growing faster than the rate of inflation, you are mathematically getting poorer every single day. How do we defeat inflation? Answer is wealth preservation through investing. You must put your money into assets that grow in value. This could be index funds, stocks, or real estate. When you invest, you unlock the greatest mathematical force in finance: compound interest. This is when money you invested makes a profit, and then that profit starts making its own profit. Your money essentially becomes your hardest working employee, working 24/7 without ever taking a vacation. There you have it, the complete personal finance blueprint. Let's recap. First, we find our starting point by calculating our net worth. Second, we destroy toxic debt using the snowball or avalanche method. Third, we build a safety net of 3 to 6 month expenses. Fourth, we control our cash flow using a budget like the 50-30-20 rule. And finally, we protect our wealth from inflation by investing and letting compound interest do the heavy lifting. Financial freedom is not about making millions. It's about taking control of what you have right now. Remember this blueprint. Apply it and your future self will thank you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.